The next person I want to call is Reverend Dr. Idowu Adetola. I remember those days when you were bringing us up in BSF, Saja Baptist Church. He was there for some of us in BSF that time, and he's still there for us. We appreciate you, sir. Reverend Dr. Idowu Adetola. Also, Reverend Dr. Daniel Adewale is a friend of this church. In times of crisis, we have called on him. He has been there for us, giving us one piece of advice or the other. We recognize you and appreciate you, sir. The next person is a friend, he's a brother, and he's also a spiritual father to us. And we all know him, Reverend Lekan Fatiloro. Reverend Lekan Fatiloro. He's one of the reverend you can call bro, and he will not take offense. The second categories of people to be so recognized are people who have, in one way or the other, supported this church financially in a special way. And the person to help us do the presentation is Mama Conference President, Mama Olaniyan. The wife of the conference president will help us do that. The first person on the list that is obvious to all of us, and we all know, is Dr. Samson Adegoke. Shall we please give him a round of applause? He has more than provided spiritual succor and support for the church. We appreciate you, sir. The Lord will continue to empower you, strengthen you, and take you to higher heights. And also, like father, like son, we want to call on Pastor Samuel Adegoke Egunyomi to also come forward. If you look at the history of the church, he's one of the people that came to the church and told us there should not be a debt in this church. He practically encouraged MMU to write off the debt that we own the conference and association at that time. And since that time, I'm not sure we've ever gone back again. Baba Samuel Adegoke Egunyomi, we appreciate you for your financial support for this church. Will you be able to take it away? Oh, yeah. They are one. Yes, he has to. And also, the next person I want to call has always been there. I remember in those days when he was the local government chairman, we called him to one of our service of songs. The first time I would see somebody of that high caliber dancing practically in the church when we played our Apala tune that time. He's not that person than His Excellency Otumba Dr. Alawa Kala, who has always been there for this church, from our Ile Pako church to the other one and to this present one. We appreciate you, sir. He has always identified with our church right from the time, even before he got to this level. We appreciate you, sir. The next set of awardees are the people who have led this church in one way or the other. Either a student pastor or a substantive pastor, and want to call on Mama Ishola to help us present this award, the wife of the former General Secretary of the Nigeria Baptist Convention. The first person was the first substantive pastor of the church who went through thick and thin to develop this church and did so many things which today are paid off. Reverend Dr. Peter Adewumi Ajao. He is my pastor, he's my friend. We've always been there. We fight, we disagree, we agree, and we are always together. We appreciate you, sir, Amma. The seed that you planted has continued to germinate. You should be happy for it, sir. The next person is Reverend A.A. Akao has played many roles in this church, many roles. Was at a point in time my choir master, was the church secretary, church leader, just name it. The Lord has used him in several ways for this church. We appreciate you today, sir. We also have the pioneer student pastor of this church, and he is Reverend Shina Shoyinka. Reverend Shina Shoyinka was the first student pastor that we had in this church. Okay, I think he's unavoidably absent. The next person I want to call was Baba Kebe, the man who brought some of us up in the Lord in this church. When we talk of discipleship in this church, he's one of the people that entrench it. And he's no other person than Reverend R.O.A. Auditorium. Baba Auditorium was part of the people that sought to buying of the land of the former church, was part of the people that work assiduously for the development of the former church, of this church. He was a former mobile executive director before he resigned and came to seminary. Today, sir, see what the Lord has used you for. We are happy and we are glad you are here. Baba Auditorium, you're welcome, sir. We also want to have what we call posthumous award. Some people have labored in the vineyard of the Lord. They are no longer here today, but their work is speaking for them. One of them is Reverend Tunde Taiwo. Mama Ajao will come and help us. Mrs. Ajao, the wife of the, will help us to come and do the presentation. Posthumous award. Reverend Tunde Taiwo was one of our former student pastors. It's no longer. We appreciate what the Lord has used him for. The other person is, okay. Also, Pastor Sunday Olatuposun JP, though no longer alive today, but we all can attest to what the Lord has used him for in various ways in the development of this church. Pastor Sunday Olatuposun, you have somebody who is representing the family to receive the award on his behalf. And also when Engineer Joao was talking the other time, he talked about one person that was an asset to this church when it comes to anything building or land matter. Comrade TP Laide Olaleye was part and parcel of the people used to bring this auditorium up to this level before he left this sinful world. Yeah. Comrade TP Olaleye. Also, we also have special awards. Some people that Tomiwa Olaleye, where are you? Okay. Thank you very much. The Lord will continue to help us. We also have the special award category, those who in one way or the other. Those also who have been used for the church in various ways. And I want to call on Professor Ogunleye to help us present the award to this category of people. Professor Ogunleye. The first person is Professor Abel Ogunwale. Professor Abel Ogunwale. Next person. We appreciate you, sir, for what the Lord has used you for. At a critical period of this church, when we are looking for the land for our daughter church, the Lord used him to make land available, and payment was made convenient for us. We appreciate you, sir. Then Pa Joseph Adeleye Ayinde. There is a person from whose compound the church started. We usually call him Baba Ajo, even though we don't have Baba Ajo in Baptist. In Oore-Ofe, we have one that we call Baba Ajo. Church started in his compound for many years. Many years. At times we will be doing night vigil in his house. He wouldn't mind even when we don't allow him to sleep. At odd hours, we do all sorts of programs. And it's directly behind this window. He wouldn't mind, and he made it easy for the church. We appreciate you, sir. After him, we have Pa Joseph Ajani. Pa Joseph Ajani. That he was the former church sex. Interestingly, getting this land was one of the key people the Lord used to whisper to Pastor, I think there's land somewhere. Please, Pastor, let's take advantage of it. Pa Ajani. Okay. So at times, don't look at some people not being significant. What they can contribute, you never can tell. Was the former section of the church, yet he provided valuable information that made it possible for us to get this land. After him, we have Pa John Daramola. Pa John Daramola. Okay. That is the representative of the family that owns this land. And they cooperated with us while we are making effort to pay. At a point in time, it became difficult to pay. They still allow us to pay at our own convenience. We appreciate the family. Thank you. God bless you. The next person I will call is Engineer Dr. S.O. Ojoawu, who labored day and night to see to the structural development of this church, of this auditorium. He worked with his team assiduously to build this church and make sure there is no or minimal defect. We appreciate you for your labor of love. Everything was done by him and his company ex gratis, that is, without payment. And we know if we are to pay, if not in millions, we'll be talking thousands of naira. We appreciate you. Prince Moronfoye Bolanta. Prince Moronfoye Bolanta. Thereafter, Mr. Agboyega Ogunosun to follow, and then Mr. John Olaifa. Those are the builders. The three people that are called are the builders. They help us, they listen to instructions, and they complied with all our requirements. We appreciate you. Prince Moronfoye Bolanta, Mr. Agboyega Ogunosun, and then John Olaifa. By words of appreciation, we still want to recognize the following people, not necessarily coming up, but want to appreciate them, what they have done in the past. Mr. Oladajo Akanji, when we had our initial preaching station, this church started in his building, and he accommodated us for several years. We appreciate you, sir. And we also appreciate architect Sheung Olanawo, the architect who conceived the idea of this building and did the drawing. Thank you very much. God bless you.